All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. You guys already know, I think this team is winning 10 games at least in this upcoming season. As difficult as the division is, I love their roster. I love Kenny Pickett. I love this defense, and I love their offseason. So today, obviously, we're going to be talking about Pittsburgh, and I saw an interesting headline, and it was from Good Morning Football. A panelist on Good Morning Football, I guess, said that the 2023 Steelers have the look of the Eagles this past season. Now, I'm not here to say the Steelers are going to make a Super Bowl run next season, because as we know a couple of things, all right? They had a great offseason. They had a great draft. They had a great defense last season, and you have something. All right, this is a team, keep in mind, they started the season 2-6. Well, they finished 9-8. So you went 6-2 in your final 8 games of the season, and we saw them in their last 4 games of the season on the road in Carolina, get the win, at home against Vegas, get the win, on the road against Baltimore, get the win, and then the final week of the season, win against Cleveland. I really think this team is flying so under the radar that it's actually a little crazy, and that's why it was kind of cool to see a Good Morning Football saying that. I saw something from CBS Sports saying that they believe in Kenny Pickett and the Steelers team. That's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. So before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Steelers fans, this is my third ever Pittsburgh Steelers video. My first 2 were this past weekend. You guys blessed it. If we could get this video to 500 likes, that would mean the world to me. But I can't wait to hear from you guys down below. So just to sum why I feel so good about this team next season, I think their defense is money. I think it literally is quite money. And I take a look at their offseason, and I think they did exactly what needed to be done. They signed Patrick Peterson from the Minnesota Vikings. You bring in Landon Roberts. You bring in Cole Holcomb. That's over 200 tackles there with Roberts and Holcomb. You brought in some great guard depth, guys like Nate Herbig. And then you made some big-time moves, snagging. And by the way, one of you guys commented this in my last video. So the Steelers signed Isaac Seumalo from the Philadelphia Eagles. Apparently Jason Kelce already misses it, and he says that their offensive line will be nothing like it was last season. That is huge for Pittsburgh, okay? Because last year, more so in the first half of last season, don't let statistics fool you. Statistics will tell you that Pittsburgh only scored 18 points per game, which was the sixth worst in the National Football League. They will tell you that the rushing attack was not that great. They've completely retooled their offensive line. Completely retooled it, and they already had some nice pieces, but guys like Isaac Seumalo getting nice depth pieces like Nate Herbig, also huge draft pick in the first round of Broderick Jones. That offensive line is going to be completely different. So what does that mean? Because we know they have an elite defense already. They have a top 10 undisputed defense. They are aggressive. They play physical football. They play exactly what you want in the AFC North. So the offense. Well, the big critique with Pittsburgh is Kenny Pickett. And the big critique with Kenny Pickett is, okay, well, last season, he played in 13 games. He had a completion percentage of 63%. Well, he only threw for 185 yards per game, and he had 7 touchdowns, and he had 9 interceptions. So he's throwing more picks than he is touchdowns, and he's not even clearing 200 yards. Well, he must be a bust. Steelers fans know that is just hot air. That's just couldn't be further from the truth. Kenny Pickett, when he first came on over and started playing for Pittsburgh last season in his rookie year, yes, turnovers were an issue. But what did we see in the final 2 months of the season? We saw 5 touchdowns. We saw just 1 interception. So he pretty much cleared those interceptions, and that's why I don't like – you always got to take statistics with a grain of salt, but that's why I don't like evaluating Kenny Pickett with stats, because it's like I just don't think it tells the whole story. So getting that offensive line depth, getting those pieces that are going to be day one starters, day one implementations, not only is it going to help out Kenny Pickett, it's going to help out Najee Harris. Najee Harris had a solid year last year. Anytime you clear 1,000 yards rushing, it's a solid year. He only averaged 3.8 yards per carry. But look at Jaylen Warren. 4.8 yards per carry, 4.9 yards per carry, actually, almost 400 yards. Those statistics, both of them, Warren and Harris, are going to be like at least plus 500 combined next season just because of the additions on the offensive line. All right. So then we look at Kenny Pickett. Well, now Kenny Pickett has more time to throw, right? He's got better pass protection, which is going to result in a lot of things. Well, you also brought in Allen Robinson. All right. And that was a big time trade. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you Allen Robinson is still the same, Pro Bowl wide receiver plus 1,000 yards. Now, if Allen Robinson is healthy, I really don't think 1,000 yards is the worst bet in the world. But the thing is this, the Steelers don't need Allen Robinson next season to be a 1,000-yard receiver. All right. You still have a great tight end duo now, or new addition tight end duo. You still have wide receiver one in Deontay Johnson last season, almost 900 total yards. You're coming off a great rookie season from George Pickens. Words cannot describe how underrated I think George Pickens is. I really think if he was on, honestly, any team that made the playoffs last season, and Pittsburgh was right there to make the playoffs, as bad as their season to start was, George Pickens last year, 52 catches, 801 yards. It's over 15 yards per catch. So you pair Allen Robinson with both of those two cats. Well, now you have 3 solidified wide receivers. And you have 2 nice tight end threats. So I look at this offense here and I get, Matt Canada, questionable calls last season. But I seriously think the implementation of these new offensive linemen, I think it makes a worldly difference for this Pittsburgh Steelers team. So we factor all that in. You have a great defense. You have a young, promising quarterback who had a great end to his first rookie season. You have a great running attack, let alone in just Najee Harris. You have a great 1-2 punch duo. I really think Jaylen Warren is going to turn some heads next season outside of Steelers fans. And you have a great receiving and tight end unit. What more do I need on offense? That's what the Steelers' flaw was. It was offense, offensive line, scoring, you name it. I don't see that being the case next season. So if you're telling me the Pittsburgh Steelers last season had the 6th worst offense in the National Football League and still rattled off a 9-8 record after starting this season 2-6, that this team will not improve even just on the win-loss column, I will tell you, you're crazy. I get it, man. The AFC North is tough. It might be as tough as they come. I think it will be the best division by far this upcoming season. You got Cincy. You have Baltimore with a new Lamar Jackson contract, right? It's a good team. Don't forget about the Cleveland Browns with Deshaun Watson. It's a really good division, but it's physical football. It's the AFC North. The division doesn't scare me with the Steelers. Their schedule definitely doesn't scare me. And I know all this stuff is reliant on, like 50% of playoffs teams don't make the playoffs the next season, whatever it is. I get it. On paper and with the eye test, if you just watch the last 6 games or so of the Pittsburgh Steelers, we'll go 8 on their 6-2 run. But if you watch those last 4 wins of the regular season, and you just can't sit here and tell me that Pittsburgh next season isn't a playoff threat. This team will be at worst 9-8 in my opinion. And once again, I think they're going to clear 10 wins. And who knows what's going to happen from there. You got Mike Tomlin. You got a great offense. You have a great defense. And I think you're going to have a great offense next season. And if not, well, at least you get a whole season of Kenny Pickett under center. Maybe Kenny Pickett isn't the guy. I don't think it's that serious. But at least you'll have options. So it's kind of a win-win for Pittsburgh, but once again, that's a doomsday scenario. I don't see that happening. I don't think this team is worse than 500. So let me know what you guys are thinking down below. As always, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button. Steelers fans, I seriously can't appreciate you guys. Thank you guys enough for the love on my first 2 ever Steelers videos. Can't wait to cover this team in the rest of the offseason and this upcoming NFL season. So that's it for today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday night, and I'll see you later.